On the margin of the lush forests of the bygone period of India, where the musical tunes of nature prevailed in the ambience, stood a village known for its godly inhabitants and the kind of living full of peace. In that village lived a young monk, and his name was Batna. He received homage for his devotion to meditation and enlightening ascetic life. Batna had thus been harassed by the stray thoughts that are to pervade in his mind and barricade his path towards enlightenment, even though doing quite a lot. One day, while Batna sat in meditation under the cool shadow of the extended banyan tree, an old elephant, Gajendra, came. The whole forest had spoken about the elephant. It had full wisdom and kind-heartedness. He saw Gajendra, this wise and compassionate creature, coming towards him. "Young monk, you look troubled. Is it so?" came Gajendra's voice, deep like a rumble from the forest, seeming to vibrate with the peace that surrounded them. Batna looked up with a start and beheld the elephant. "Oh, great Gajendra, I am only trying to bring my focus to doing meditation, but all these wicked thoughts are attacking impure, leaving me with a polluted mind, unworthy for the path I have chosen." Gajendra listened intently, nodding in understanding. That, Batna, is more or less the fate of a man seeking nirvana. The mind is like a wild elephant, untamed and free. It goes wherever it pleases, more often than not into the mire of impure thoughts. It's not easy. It's not about stopping these thoughts, but learning how to manage them. Batna was interested, and he inquired, "But how could such thoughts be controlled, Gajendra the wise?" "The thoughts seem to be as powerful and unstoppable as you." Gajendra smiled. "There is a secret from the jungle, young monk. Note how a lotus, which blooms in the mud, remains untouched by the filth around it. Your mind is like that lotus. You may not stop the dirty thoughts from being there, just as you may not prevent mud from being there, but you may remain untouched, above and beyond." Batna got lost in the words of Gajendra, and especially in that lotus thing. At times, enlightenment seemed to break over him. So I should only inhibit the thought, but instead change the reaction to it. "Yes," Gajendra said with a nod. "When such thoughts come, don't think any of this with a negative mind. Just let the thoughts go. Do not cling to it or fight it, but move your mind back to your meditation or to a pure thought, just like the lotus turns its face to the sun." Inspired, Batna went back with a mindfulness practice for the next days. Every time a disturbing thought that touched the mirror of his mind in nature came to it, he would acknowledge and redirect attention back to meditation, picturing himself as the lotus, pure and poised in the mud. Slowly, Batna started feeling a change in him. Those disturbing thoughts didn't have the power to be so frequent and troubling to him. He could meditate with more concentration and depth towards moments of great peace and clarity. Grateful for the wisdom shared by Gajendra, Batna decides that he will visit Gajendra to express his thanks. "What a blessed guide you have been, Gajendra. You have shown me that the way to the purity of the mind is not to resistance but understanding. Gentle discipline is the key, and all this from you." Gajendra smiled with kindness in his eyes, twinkling. "The most beautiful gift is the feeling that you have grown along your path, young monk. The mind meanders by nature, but your essence is pure and untouchable, much like the lotus. Remember this, and you will find your way." Batna, further ahead in his enlightenment journey, had revisited the teachings of Gajendra a number of times. It dawned on him that the battle with impure thoughts was no physical battle, but rather an engaging tussle of power through the senses of awareness and detachment.